He is the most dangerous gambler in New York's underground. Anyone who plays him loses everything within an hour. A crime boss noticed. To force Jack to work for him, the boss sent men into his brother's home. They terrorized the family. That was Jack's line, so he gave in and joined. Days later at the table, a losing player insulted Jack's dead mother. Furious, Jack shot the guy in the foot and a serious gunfight broke out. Someone reported him, and cops hauled Jack away. The boss got nervous. He sent men to threaten Jack's brother again, and they killed Jack's sister-in-law. Jack was enraged, but to protect his brother and niece, he took the fall alone. Now he is out of prison and rich, and he is coming to collect from the boss. The second Jack walked into the casino, the boss's men knew he meant trouble. Soon they stood before the boss, who watched Jack come to collect. No guilt at all. He mocked Jack for daring to come after him. Facing the mockery, Jack decided to answer with his real skill. He challenged the boss to a simple bet on the color of a chip. After they placed their bets, Jack tossed the chip. Somehow he lost. Enraged, Jack demanded to bet his entire fortune against the boss. The boss agreed and tossed the chip himself. Against all odds, he lost. As Jack's crew bagged the cash, the boss sent word he wanted one more round. Jack flat out refused. As they were about to leave the casino, a stranger named Zach stopped Jack and warned him he was already in trouble. He shoved a business card at Jack, saying to call if he needed help. Jack took the card, eyed the elevator, and chose the stairs instead. His crew agreed, but at the stairwell, Jack's head went heavy and he crashed hard. Before blacking out, he saw a card telling him to take the elevator. Meanwhile, the boss, down a fortune, felt sure Jack would come back for more. So he decided to strike first, ordering his right-hand Paul to have Jack killed. By then, Jack had woken up in the hospital. Good news, he wasn't hurt. But when he drove home and reached for the lock, he found a card reading, "Pick me up." The moment Jack bent down to grab it, the boss's gunman opened fire from inside, and the two men beside Jack dropped dead. Barely surviving, Jack fired back while retreating. He dove into his car, but the driver wasn't so lucky, shot dead instantly. Every gunman lit up the car, and even Jack figured he was done for. At the last second, a black car rolled up. It was Zach, holding a submachine gun. He sprayed the shooters and told Jack to get in his car. Jack had no choice. They sped off from the scene, and Zach took Jack to a pool hall. He sent him to meet a mysterious man named Avi, who handed Jack his medical report. It said Jack had a rare disease and only 3 days to live. Avi offered to get his revenge in 3 days if Jack gave up all his money. He'd also collect debts. But why should Jack believe a stranger who says he is dying? So he refused Avi's offer without hesitation. But after leaving the pool hall, he rushed to another hospital for a new exam. The doctor told him straight he had a rare blood disease. Before he finished, Jack pulled a gun and asked how much Avi paid him. The cold barrel nearly left the doctor speechless. He swore he took no money. With years of reading people, Jack knew the doctor wasn't lying, which meant he really did have just 3 days left. Jack knew there was no way he could get his revenge in 3 days, so he grabbed all his money and went to Avi. Meanwhile, the boss's lead assassin set out to hunt Jack down. But the assassin couldn't find him. Jack was busy playing chess with Avi. But he still needs those two for revenge, so he tells them his prison story. When Jack got locked up, he had 2 options, 14 years in general, or 7 years in solitary. He picked solitary to get out and get revenge faster. What he didn't expect, his 2 neighbors were a chess genius and a master con man. A book cart rolled through the block daily, so these 2 killed the boredom. They wrote messages in the books to talk, and Jack sat right between them. He kept borrowing the books with their conversations inside. He learned a ton. Before long, he could talk with both masters himself. His con game and his chess skyrocketed, and they respected him for it. They promised to break him out with them. Then, one morning, guards found both cells empty, every trace of them wiped clean. Jack heard and instantly knew. They broke out and left him behind. 2 years later, Jack's out. He gets home and his hidden cash is gone. All that is left is a note in his trunk. Only playing the wise makes you wiser. Reading that, he knew instantly. The 2 masters cleaned him out. But Jack wasn't left with nothing. He'd learned their con game and chess. When he goes to report back to Avi, he catches them dragging something with chains. Zach hits the gas from the driver's seat and rips a safe right out. Only later does Jack learn the safe belonged to Marsh. Inside was the powder Marsh was prepping for Gerd. If he can't deliver on time, Gerd sends someone to end him. No effort from them. And Marsh knows what is coming. So he sends Paul to hunt the robbers while he scrambles to prep new powder. Only one man can pull that much powder that fast. His rival, the Chinese gang boss John. To stay on Gerd's good side, Marsh rushes Paul to buy powder from John. He figured John would jack the price, but he underestimated how greedy he'd get. John flat out tripled the price. Marsh swallows it and pays the crazy sum, but he warns Paul. Watch John close during the deal, and John doesn't trust Marsh either. He warns his crew to watch their guys too. But when night comes, both Marsh and John get word the deal fell apart. Cash and product, all gone. So each side thinks the other double-crossed them, but it is all in Jack's hands. Marsh and John's men had planned to meet in separate hotel rooms. Jack's crew heard and dressed up as repairmen. They stroll right into the hotel and force their way into the room next door. They quietly knock out the old man on the bed, then get into the next room. Working fast, they secretly knock everyone in the next room unconscious. Once everyone's out, they hit Marsh's men's room first and bag all the cash for the deal. Then they hit John's men's room and grab both cases of powder. On his way out, Buck swipes an expensive watch too. But right as Jack's about to walk into the office, his brother Billy calls. Billy clearly doesn't want Avi overhearing, so Jack steps outside the office. The last thing he expected, Billy tells him to run right now. Turns out Billy's been quietly digging into Avi's background. He found they lend to people who cross Gerd, so Avi's been working against Gerd. If that powerful man finds out Jack's in on it too, it could bring death down on their whole family again. but Jack hangs up and walks into the office anyway. He finds Zach pointing a gun at the Asian man who clearly can't pay again. Avi orders Zach to kill him, but as Zach readies the gun, Avi suddenly changes his mind. Avi hands Jack the pistol and tells him to shoot the debtor instead, but Jack won't kill an innocent man. But Avi looks ready to shoot at the slightest excuse, so Jack takes the gun. Next second, Jack tells the debtor to leave and aims the gun straight at Avi. He warns Avi that one wrong move and he'll pull the trigger. Avi hears that and just steps forward. Jack sees it and fires without hesitation, but the gun was empty. Avi knocks him out cold. Next morning, a ringing phone wakes the passed out Jack. He picks it up. Avi's voice congratulates him on surviving 3 days. Jack hangs up and rushes to the hospital. The doctor he'd scared speechless before now shamelessly says the last diagnosis was a mistake. His body is totally fine. That is when Jack finally gets it. Avi had been playing him the whole time. He barely leaves the hospital before Avi calls again. Jack can't wrap his head around it. Why did Avi pick him to scam and still let him live? Avi just plays it cryptic and says the answer will come in time. Jack's not here for riddles, he just wants his money back. But when Jack gets to Avi's building, he finds Avi and Zach soaking in a pool. Hearing why Jack came, Avi warns him not to go upstairs if he wants to live. Turns out a guy called Snake just traced the stolen coke to Jack's crew. He sent hitmen to kill Jack, and right now they're staked out inside Avi's place. Just then, a hitman coming back with pizza and coffee spots Jack. He pulls a shotgun and fires. Quick on his feet, Jack dodges just in time. He bolts upstairs, and the hitmen posted up there hear the shots and sprint down. Right before they meet, Jack turns and cuts out onto the exterior fire escape. A few flights down, he leaps to the ground, but the hitman is still right on him. Jack doesn't dare stop. He quickly hops over a wall. The hitman copies him, but the second he lands, Jack hears a gunshot. He whips around, then senses other hitmen closing in and takes off again. That hitman had shot himself dead going over the wall. His death saved Jack's life. Kill Jack, get back the money and the coke, but Jack was nowhere to be found. So Paul goes after Jack's brother Billy. Billy senses someone breaking into his house. He tells his daughter to hide in the cupboard. Sure enough, Paul and Soat storm in with a crew. Billy knows exactly why they're here, but he'd never sell out his own brother. Paul has his men torture Billy, driving a thin steel rod through the back of his hand. Billy screams in agony, but to protect his daughter, he forces himself quiet. Not a single sound. So Paul pours a bottle of gasoline over him. Talk or burn alive. The words barely leave Paul's mouth when crying comes from the cupboard. Billy's daughter is dragged out to make Billy talk about where Jack is. Paul actually threatens his daughter in front of him. Even the hitman Soat can't stomach it. Soat shoots Paul dead on the spot, then drops 2 more hitmen. He tells the girl to hide in the cupboard again, knowing the second those shots rang out, the hitmen posted downstairs would rush up to check. Once she is hidden, Soat takes on the rest alone. Against a ghost-like veteran like him, those average hitmen have no chance but to die. But they've got numbers, so Soat takes several bullets fast. Luckily none hit anything vital. After he clears the last of them, he takes off his glasses to wipe them, not knowing one more gunman is in the room. Soat can't even react before he is killed. The girl ends up taken by Ma's men. To buy his niece back, Jack brings 2 cases of coke plus Avi and Zach to Ma's casino. Waiting for May to send someone, Avi plays a few rounds of chess with him again. This time Jack loses game after game, but he quickly figures something out. He played this exact chess game in prison with that master, and the matchstick in Avi's mouth is identical to the ones he found in the prison's mobile library, which means Avi and Zach are the 2 masters he met in prison. That is how they knew all his secrets. Then a new memory suddenly hits Jack. In it, he opens a car trunk, takes the cash hidden inside, and leaves a note behind. In that moment, Jack finally understands. The 2 masters, Avi and Zach, were the 2 real experts he'd met in prison. But the ego he battled was his own. The coward inside him he had to defeat. Just then, the boss's men spot Jack and drag him to Masher. Masher expected to see Jack panicking. Instead, the Jack standing before him is completely calm, like he has already made peace with death. That rattles Masher like never before. Because lately, he has been terrified that Gerd will kill him. So different voices start arguing in his head, and within seconds, he is pushed to the edge of a breakdown. He even mistakes this calm Jack for one of his own personalities, so he points the gun at his own head, ready to kill off his coward side and let his fearless side take over. The second Masher pulls the trigger, his life and all his fear and delusions vanish. Jack didn't fire a single shot yet. He finally did it for his family.